Hi everybody. I'm going to do a ride today of a little village called Pinos Altos, north of Silver City, New Mexico, about 15 miles north. As you can see, we're on the Continental Divide, 7,080 feet. So let's take a tour through this little village, historical, and I'll try to give you some insight. All right, we're pulling right into the edge of Pinos Altos. I'm going to give you a little bit of history on this place. Pinos Altos was once the seat of Grant County, which is one of the counties in New Mexico. It has survived conflicts with the Apaches. Gold was discovered here in 1860 by 349ers from California, stimulating a boom that led to an establishment of a mining camp here in this little village of Pinos Altos. It produced over $8 million worth of silver, copper, lead, zinc before the mines played out, and gold, of course. I'm going to take you through a tour through town. I know some of the buildings, the historical value of some of the buildings, a lot of them are gone, but there is a fort here that is in amazing shape. If you like looking at old cavalry, old forts from the 1800s, this is the place to come. As we pull into the edge of town, you'll find that there's a Continental Divide RV park here. If you need a place to stay, maybe to unload your trike. Pretty nice guy. I've taken showers here, even though I haven't stayed here. I just give him a few bucks and he'll let me use his shower facilities. I've been coming here. I got a buddy who lives here, so I come up here every so often. Let's throw a cruise through town and some old historical buildings over here. We're on Highway 15 coming out of Silver City. You just cruise up here. It's pretty steep grade. I don't think I'd want to ride my trike up the grade out of Silver City up here. I don't think I'm in good enough shape yet. Nevertheless, you can come up here and find multiple places to unload and ride around the area. Gold was originally found on a creek called Bear Creek, and it caused the 49ers that found that gold caused a boom here. Quite a few miners showed up in a big hurry. It's the way it was back then. Everybody was looking to make a stake. Place pretty unique. There's a lot of Apaches that were from this area. The Mangus, Colorado group of Iroquois Apaches frequented this area and gave the 49ers a run for their money quite a few years. Here's the old Catholic church. It looks like it was established in 1888. The Holy Cross Mission. And it's been here ever since. I wonder how many people got married in there and how many people got buried in there. Well, I can answer that question. There's a whole graveyard full of folks here. Mining is a very dangerous line of business. And of course the Apaches got after a lot of folks too. Of course this cemetery is still active. People are still living here, so this cemetery has been used since probably the 1860s. Quite a few people are just dying to get into this place. The Spanish were in here mining gold much earlier than the 1860s. They weren't the first ones. The 49ers weren't the first ones to find gold. Spaniards were in here early on, mining copper, all the precious metals. There's a Ristra near here. I wonder if I could ride to the Ristra. They've restored it to show you how it was used with a mule, and they would grind, sort of like a stone mill. They would grind the ore, the rock, and pull out their precious metals and go from there. Pretty cool, but it's close in the area. I think I will time warp this down to the bottom of the hill. On Highway 15, you have an historical tour through Pinos Altos. So if you stay on 15, you will take that historical tour. I'm at the corner of Main and 15. And you go down that way right there, continue down 15, it goes on for miles and miles into the mountains. You could ride all day long. I've driven back there, but I've never triked back there. It's gorgeous back there. This is Bear Creek Cabins. Pretty nice place. They have really nice cabins. There's one right there. I'm having to use the assist. I'm pulling a hard grade, trying to film at the same time. I'm more worried about filming than I am getting a workout. This is absolutely gorgeous in here. It's the middle of October. It's starting to cool down. But today it's beautiful. It's a little cloudy, but it's still rather warm. I'd say it's maybe close to 70 degrees. The leaves are just now changing in this area. This is Bear Creek right here. It's where the gold was found. And we got some gyms to look at here pretty soon. We got some historical buildings on this main street in Pinos Altos. We've got a saloon, we've got an opera house, we've got a fort. Let's go look at those. Neat old building, adobe wall there. Pretty steep grade. Now this little gym here, it's an actual homestead, 1870. And that barn shed out back looks like it. It's still standing, but barely. I wouldn't want to go in that thing. But the house has been restored and kept going. 1870. Old houses all along the road on both sides. Some of them fixed up, like that one. Look at this one. Isn't that cool? Pretty neat place to ride, my friends. It's a good day. You come up here and spend time and ride around, go down 15 for a good ways, and come back and I'll show you where you need to go eat, because that's where I'm going to go eat. And I'll show you in a second where a minute or so, I mean, where I like to visit, have a drink, have a steak. It's right across the street from the museum, and it's right across the street from the old fort. I'm going to show you here in a sec. Now this place here is the museum, and it's got a lot of information in there and a lot of stuff. I'll try to film that if it's open. It says it's open. We'll go in there and check. Often what you'll find in New Mexico and probably across the country, I know in New Mexico a lot, forts were named something and then the name got changed, or the fort was closed, or there was a garrison there and then later a fort was established. And it seems to be the case here, because the sign on the fort says Fort Cobre 1804 and then Fort Webster 1852. Anyway, folks, this is one of the best examples of a fort from its era. Still in existence. You can see the ramparts here, the gun turrets. Adobe walls, garrisoned. A lot of the walls have fallen. They've restored them with these wooden fences. Some of the structures inside are still standing. See if we can get around behind this bad boy. Wasn't very big. There's an old windmill in there. I've never been inside the fort. It's normally closed. I think they have certain times of the year where they let you in. But that's pretty cool. I've never seen a fort that good a shape anywhere in New Mexico. Fort Union aren't this well put together. Of course, this is a small fort, tiny. I bet it's on a half acre, maybe an acre, maybe. Run by it again and let you see it from this side. Coming back to Main Street. Big old building over there. Historical buildings all over the place. Little gems hidden away. But this is the fort. I don't know if these are ramparts. I don't think that's what that is. I think that's a gun. That's where they would stick their rifles out and try to defend the fort. It was established here to protect the miners. They were getting raided by the Apaches. In fact, Mangus, Colorado was captured in Pinos Altos. Fortunately, didn't fare well. They tricked him, they lied to him, and you wonder why the Apaches were so pissed off. I don't want to get into that argument, but they weren't treated well, and they payback's a bummer. Coming back down Main Street, you find the old general store. I'm going to pull in here. Norton Store, 1860. And it was a PA Mercantile in 1962. That was the year I was born. I half expect to see a ghost in here. Looks like they've been cleaning it up. It's in pretty bad shape, the old Mercantile. Sorry about the reflection, but they're in here working. Old adobe structure. Sorry about the wind, folks. Blowing up here pretty good right now. Anyway, I might mute the volume on this for you. I'm half afraid to look in here. Really can't see anything. There's my steed, my Terra Trike Charge. Now this is one of the best standing opera houses in the state, probably from its era in the country. I've been in there. I want to see if I can get in there today. This is an opera house. Established in the late 1860s. Look at that. And here's the old saloon. The Buckhorn. 1865, and the opera house was attached to it. So that date contradicts all the other signs in the city, so I'm going to find out about that. Anyway, they got the best steaks here. It's deceiving on the outside. I mean, it looks 1860s, but inside they make the best steaks. All right, we're gonna get a tour. So let me park my Charge, my little Terra Trike, and we will walk through the opera house and the saloon. So I'm making my way into the opera from the Buckhorn Saloon. A lot of history on the walls in here of the different towns around the area. There's the stage in all of its original glory. I wonder if Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid, people like that were here, or maybe Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp. Maybe he was here. Lake Valley. Shakespeare. Magdalena. That's where my mom used to live. My grandparents. Winston, that's another town we're going to ride through. I'm going to take you to Winston one of these days. Chloride. It's another good ghost town. Hi.
Hi.
Are you one of the managers?
I am.
I think I met you before.
I think you have. You look familiar.
Me and a guy named Marvin. He lives right down the street from you.
Yes.
He's we're brand new people here, but we've eaten here before, and you guys gave us a tour of the structure.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what year this was erected?
It was built in 1865. The whole building was. There was a fire in the Opera House in 1965, so it has been reconstructed in 1965. But the saloon area is original.
Wow.
the ghost hunters were supposed to come and do a show right before the pandemic happened, and since the world kind of shut down, that never happened. But people do have experiences here. I've heard stuff, smells, cigar smells a lot in a specific area of the saloon.
Wow.
What else? Everyone has a different story. A lot of people, I've seen people walk by from the bar area and the saloon area, and the dining room area is where people see people walking by.
Yeah.
Usually a guy in a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I've heard that story from some of the staff here in the
Yeah.
past. Or you'll be in one of the, sitting in here and somebody will walk by one of the, up there in one of the, what do they call those,
in
balconies?
The booths, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one good story that I have, excuse me while I'm setting up here. One good story that I have during one of our winter balls, there was a band member that was playing, and he came up to my boss and asked, well, he said that was a nice touch that you guys put, having the people in formals up in the boxes dancing, and we didn't have people up in the boxes at all. So
That's kind of creepy.
yeah, so that was a cool story. I like that.
How long have you been working here?
I've been working here almost 8 years.
Wow.
So, and I feel very comfortable here. I've been here by myself numerous times, where, you know, I'll see stuff out of the corner of my eye, but it's never anything that makes me feel scared or threatened at all. I like it here.
Cool. I noticed you have the famous Apache war chiefs up here.
Yes. Yeah, if walls could talk a lot, I'm sure they could tell you a lot.
I know the one that got captured here was Magnus Coloradus.
Uh-huh.
They captured him at the fort over here is what I've been told. I don't know how true that is, but
I know there was a lot of battles between the settlers and the Native Americans, you know, for the land.
yeah,
So.
I don't blame them.
And when I've heard, I don't know this for sure, but I've heard that when they redid the floor in the saloon area, that there was tunnels that went underneath the ground over to the fort for, you know,
To escape.
to escape, yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, that's.
So you guys rent this out and do parties here?
I think in the last couple weeks I did a baby shower, a wedding, and a memorial within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, all walks of life.
Well, I really appreciate your time.
Of course.
I think we're gonna come here and eat tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll see you if you're here.
I will be here.
Okay.
Have a good
Nice
night.
seeing
Thank
you
you.
again. Anyway, the restaurant's back in here. This is the Buckhorn. Can't go wrong eating here, folks. This is the original part of the building. And the saloon is adjacent to these steak rooms. Is this the original bar?
Yes.
This part. That is too?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think we're gonna come and eat here, so I don't know. I'm gonna talk to my buddy and see what time we want to come, if it's tomorrow or today. Thank you for your time and the tour. Thank you so much. The Buckhorn Saloon. God, you ought to smell the food here. It's cooking right now. Oh my gosh. Starting to rain. I think I'll head back to the cabin. Try to get to the museum if it stops raining. Anyway, come and see the Opera House and the steakhouse. What fun. Enjoy it. Okay, I'm at the museum across from the Buckhorn. And you ring the bell and they're supposed to come open up, but I've been here for a while and nobody's opened up. Maybe they'll come. Maybe they will.